Hey everyone, my name is Juan. On today's episode, we're going to talk about Apex Legends, the new game by Respawn. We're going to talk about it. We're going to hit some current events. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the new episode of BattleCast.
Cue the intro. Hey guys, welcome. So, all right, Apex Legends just dropped. We got to talk about it, but I'm Rev DMQ. We're here with the Juan. We're here with Lun's Ice Cool and JD Belcher. You guys say what's up. Say what's up.
Yo, what's up, guys? Lun's Ice Cool here. Looking forward to the stream. Let's go. Or the podcast, I should say, not the stream. Not this time.
Hey everyone, the Juan here.
Yo, what's up? I'm JD Belcher. How's it going, guys?
All right. Well, I'm excited about our conversation today because we're talking about some pretty exciting stuff. Crazy events happening in gaming right now. It's unbelievable what happened in the last 2 weeks in the video game world. So we're going to try a brand new segment on the podcast where we just run through some really quick current events. We're not sure if this is like what you guys want in the podcast, so we're going to try it. If you like it, let us know. Give us feedback. If you don't like it, give us feedback. We won't do it. But just some things that happened this last week and a half in gaming. We're going to spitfire these so that you're aware of them. And so whoever wants to talk, go ahead and jump in. What are some current events that have just happened in the gaming world?
So did you guys see the Fortnite event with the Marshmello concert?
Crazy.
I found out a day before it went live, and I saw it. I talked JD into watching it with me, and it was insane. It was like the most incredible experience I've had in a video game. It was so unique,
and like
it was mind blowing.
Yeah.
3 or 4 people watched it too, right?
yeah, almost 3 or 4 times, about 3 times. Almost 10 million people tuned in to see the Marshmello concert live.
Crazy.
I mean, they actually achieved a world record. It is the most attended concert in history because there was obviously 10 million people. It's astounding numbers. It's unreal to think of. And sadly, it's the first Fortnite event that I've missed. So
yeah,
that's a bit of a bummer, but hopefully there'll be a next one that's even bigger. I mean, we know how Epic Games is with these
I mean, it's
one-off
insane,
things.
though.
There'll be more stuff.
They just keep on upping the bar so high, man.
Mm-hmm. Some other news coming out. The New Tides of War chapter in Battlefield 5 dropped, which has got good stuff in it. You can get the new MMG. There's going to be a new tank coming out. I think it's a Stug, and more gear, all that, new achievements. And with this, I think this month Combined Arms is dropping, right? And the next month we'll get Rush and the Battle Royale. So exciting things on the horizon for Battlefield 5. Something else interesting about Battlefield 5 is the earnings call was just released. And if you want information on the earnings call, if you're into that kind of stuff, go see Westy and Jack Frags. They've got great videos on it. Go watch their videos. But it's just really interesting to hear EA executives talk about Battlefield in the earnings call. One of the things that I think is worth noting is the 7.3 million people have downloaded Battlefield 5. And that's at least 1 million less than they were anticipating, which is just interesting news. So
yeah, it is.
And also the Division 2 beta released, which is crazy. So if you don't have access to the Division 2 beta, try to find that somehow. Find a friend who's got a code to spare.
Danny.
Please give me a code. Someone give me Danny. You have how many codes?
I don't know how many codes I have.
He's lost track at so many. That's the sad thing.
Don't be a hog.
It's 1.
Oh, it's 1. You mean it's 4 1?
Oh, there you go.
1. Gotcha.
And I think there's one other bit of news that we need to talk about before we move to Apex Legends.
Indeed, it is.
And Juan, why don't you talk to us about this?
So this week, our fearless leader, Dan Mitri, Global Community Manager, steps down. What can we say? It's sad to see him leave. He has done so much during the last 5 years. He has done a lot for the community, for everybody. And for me personally, like, I'm where I'm at in the world of like video games and content creation because of him, because of everything that he's done, and I'm gonna miss him a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely going to hit the community hard, but, Dan, he's going off to start his own esports business, so we're still going to see him in the scene. We're going to hopefully, maybe some of us will work with him in the future on some cool stuff.
Yeah.
It's not the end of Dan. He's still around, so don't get
Right.
Good luck, Dan.
He's on to big things.
And much love from us, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I also want to say a big congratulations to David Serlin, who's the lead live producer at DICE 5. He's now the father of yet another child.
Just
and he'll be on until September. But congratulations, David. Also known as Stigger, for those who don't know his real name.
On Twitter.
That's
so Dan,
nice vacation, man.
Right. If only we had that kind of leave in the U.S. Dan, Dave, man, congrats. I mean, Dan, you're going to be back. Dave, you're going to be back. Dan, you're not. We're going to miss you, Dan, a lot. You've done a lot for the community. David, come back soon. September, come quickly. But we love you guys. We appreciate all that you guys do for Battlefield in general and the gaming world at large. So thank you.
Yeah.
Now, let's transition.
Let's switch on to the probably biggest topic we've had in the gaming era this past few days.
Right. Which is also a current event. Like I remember on what was it? Last Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, I was texting with Juan about how the Chiefs should have been in the Super Bowl instead of the freaking Patriots.
#6rings.
Yeah, get out of here. And we're talking about the Super Bowl and we're tweeting. Then all of a sudden we see this news. Like we see people start talking about a new battle royale coming out of the Titanfall world, but they're not going to have Titans. And it was like, where did this news come from? How did this start leaking? Like, who said this? And then in a matter of hours on Sunday night, all of a sudden, these EA game changers, these EA content creators, and not even EA people like Dr. Lupo and Tim the Tatman, they start tweeting out, hey, hashtag Apex Legends. What was the hashtag for like Apex Partner?
Apex
That's what it was. Yeah, there are all these Apex partners, and we're like, what's going on? And so then they start saying, hey, we're excited to show gameplay. Then all of a sudden, a Twitter account is created at Play Apex. We all start following it. Like, what is happening? And then that night they say, tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern, tune in to twitch.tv/playapex for an initial stream. And so for 4 hours, people are watching images with static people coming in and out. And
the grass and the wind.
Right. We're like, what the heck is happening? And then at noon, Eastern Standard Time, we get this stream. And there's a new battle royale from the Titanfall world called Play Apex. It's called Apex Legends. And it's a weird mashup of like battle royale, Titanfall, Call of Duty, Overwatch. Like, so all of a sudden Play Apex shows up. Keep calling it Play Apex. Apex Legends shows up. I've been tweeting them a lot. Can you tell? Apex Legends shows up in the world and it's freaking blown up.
Yeah,
so
I think it's incredible.
So like, let's talk about it. What the heck is Apex Legends and what is it doing and why does it matter and why have we neglected every other video game in the world this week to play Apex Legends?
So first of all, I gotta say, Respawn, everybody involved with Apex, you guys hit a home run. Like, it just came out of nowhere like a Drake album. It was like, wait, what? And then we all started playing it. And, man, I haven't been playing anything else since. Respawn, Apex, guys, I'm hooked.
Yeah, they killed it.
I mean, I've only been able to hop on for a little bit this week just because I'm in the middle of moving. If you haven't seen my Twitter, I'm moving on Sunday. I'm staying at a friend's place. So I've got about 5 or 6 games in. But so far, it has been an incredible game. I mean, I've never played Titanfall before, Overwatch. Back in the day, I was a massive Call of Duty player. So I can definitely see the aspects of kind of the Black Ops kind of art style coming in a little bit, with the heads-up display and all that kind of stuff. But it plays phenomenally. I mean, the Pathfinder guy I don't want to say it's kind of like Fortnite, but, when you, like, latch in with that grapple hook thing, you fly across, you pump someone in the middle of the air, It's so much fun. It's awesome. And then the ping system. I mean, I guess Rev, you can say some stuff about that.
We gotta save that for later. The ping system's gold. We gotta talk about that in a minute. But
yeah,
Dave,
but just the launch itself.
Like,
Talk about so impressive was that it came out of nowhere, and then they had a 4-hour stream. And during that 4-hour stream, I remember, I think it was you, Rev, was like, "Who's gonna watch this for 4 hours?" There were like 30,000 people watching it almost the entire time
with nothing happening almost.
Yeah,
for 4 hours.
and then the stream documentary,
right? And then the stream itself came on, and they were like, "Oh yeah, by the way, you can go play this right now. Not like we're gonna have this ready for you to play in months. Like we're still working on it, but here's a teaser. No, like you can go play it right now." And they said that their goal all along was not to build any hype whatsoever, because they were doing some things like including microtransactions. We can talk a little bit about that. That they thought being associated with EA could lead to a lot of trouble if they really hyped up their game. And so they said, let's just let the game speak for itself.
Which, can we note the difference between the launch of Battlefield 5 and Apex Legends for a moment? I love Battlefield. I'm a fanboy. I've always been. But the when they first started talking about Battlefield 5, it was all about trying to build hype and I mean, look at the game changers. All they talked about before the release of Battlefield 5 was, is there enough hype for this game, or is there not enough hype? And it was like the release it felt like we kept getting little bits of information, and expectations were set. The question now is, were expectations met? But look at how DICE and Respawn released these games, and they are polar opposite.
Well, the thing, too, is that Battlefield's an established franchise. Like, they had to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Apex came out of nowhere. Like, it's something that they were working on for years. They kept it quiet. And it was just mind-blowing, because, like, all of us on Monday morning, we were expecting to see a trailer. We weren't expecting by the end of the trailer to say, playable now. We were like, wait, what? So immediately we rushed to our PS4s and PCs and we started downloading it. I played around after that, shortly before leaving work, and it was amazing. The movement, like the world. It's like I said, man, I'm hooked.
I couldn't imagine not being able to talk about it. First, I mean, how long were they working on this game and nobody could talk about it? I was talking to
It's been like 2 years.
It's I was talking to Izzy is that, who is Adam, community manager for Europe, Adam's girlfriend, and he told her, there's something, but I can't talk to you about it. And he didn't tell his girlfriend. So Izzy finds out the day of the release, and she's like, Adam, how could you not tell me about this? So the developers and the community managers, they didn't even talk about it to like their own family. I couldn't do that.
Those are some strong NDAs. I'll tell you about that.
Oh, right. Yeah. And to Juan's point about Battlefield being an established franchise, and Apex being brand new, it is building on the Titanfall world.
Yeah.
And so they do have like assets that they're drawing on. Like all the weapons, all of them at least, come from Titanfall. And so anyone who's played the Titanfall games will know the weapons. A lot of the map resembles other parts of Titanfall maps from the past, both from Titanfall 1 and Titanfall 2. But remember how Titanfall 2 launched. It was smack dab between Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty World War II. And it had one of the rockiest launches that we've ever seen. Like,
great game, right?
A perfect game almost. Like, it was so smooth. Juan mentioned the movement system in Apex. Well, Titanfall 2 had the smoothest movement of any game I've ever played. And it had probably the best campaign of this kind of game, like a shooter game, of the last decade at least.
Maybe it was amazing. Too short for me.
So it was an amazing game, but numbers dropped off almost immediately. Like within a month, lobbies were emptied, and sadly, it never gained enough momentum to really be competitive.
So I think because of Titanfall 2 and the way it released, that's why they wanted to keep Apex like loosely related to Titanfall. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
not attach it completely. That's why they didn't release the game with like Titanfall, like
Right.
Apex Legends. You know what I
Right.
mean? They just
Right.
wanted to like get some separation between them and Titanfall, but still be in the Titanfall world.
So
I think that's a
Go ahead, Lance.
I think that's a great choice because I've never played Titanfall games. I've never been in that whole scene, but now not associating it with Titanfall, it allows me to go in as with a new frame of mind with no assumptions of how it's going to be.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine played Titanfall and he was like, yeah, it's all right, but then again after a month he stopped playing. So leaving those those assumptions out and just going in with a clean mindset, I think has really been a defining factor for a lot of people to go and play this game. It's just allowed them just to go in and have fun.
Right. I wonder if there was a takeaway from Hardline with Battlefield, because so many people said this would have been a great game if it didn't have Battlefield in the title. Just call it Hardline.
Yeah.
In the
true.
Battlefield genre.
Right.
But just call it Hardline as like a spin-off of the Battlefield franchise. I mean, who was talking about that? Grizz was talking about that on stream just last week. So like he said Hardline could have been a success if it didn't have Battlefield in the title, because it was distinct enough from Battlefield to not have it in the title.
Sort of like what they did with Bad Company. Like Bad Company is related to Battlefield, but most people know the Bad Company games has Bad Company.
Right. Right. So okay, let's just talk about what we like about the game. I mean, we've played it, we've had some wins, and it's super thrilling, it's super exciting. There's a lot to talk about and what makes this such a great game and why we're loving it. So for me, one of the best things about the game is the gunplay. Like, the guns feel good. They've
got some real power behind them.
And they're distinct from one another. There's diversity in the guns and in the gunplay. Like, the shotguns are so different from the pistols.
The Peacekeeper is such an intense powerhouse. I mean, that thing, you just run up. If you
get the choke on it,
and get the choke, and then you headshot someone. Oh, perfect, one shot kill. Almost.
There's certain guns like when they're fully upgraded, they're just crazy. Like the Peacekeeper, and the other one is the Wingman. You get the Wingman fully upgraded. Oh my god, dude!
I did a few rounds with the I did a few rounds with the burst rifle though, the 3-shot one. I'm not sure exactly which one it is, but that was terrible. That really that didn't take my fancy. I wasn't a fan.
You gotta get it right. The Hemlock is great. I like the Hemlock.
It is.
Yes.
I have to make sure I try that out.
I like it.
What are your favorite legends that you like playing as? What characters you like? Because I mean, I love the Pathfinder one, but I haven't really got to play any of the others. So
I think having characters is a fun metric to incorporate in the game. Like, it changes the meta of the game and changes the battle royale. I think the fact that they even have characters is awesome. It brings personality. It makes it silly. When you do like a fatality on someone, you just feel like you're like a freaking boss. It feels so good, right? And they're goofy. So the characters themselves are awesome.
I've yet to explore all of the characters, but I'm just hooked on 2 characters right now. So it's Lifeline and Bangalore.
Yeah.
They're badasses, both of them.
Yeah, Bangalore seems to be a really popular pick. Watching streams, Bangalore is probably the most selected character right now, I think.
What is
go with Pathfinder?
What is Bangalore's ability that they've got? Smoke. Ooh.
Yeah, because you lay the cloud of smoke and you can be uber aggressive. And on top of that, you have her artillery strike, which is great.
It just disorients people.
Is that the one where all the rockets come down in a circle? And then I have played with that one, yeah. See, I found, I think we can hop onto the button layout quickly. So on console, I think it's a little bit better perhaps than on PC, just because there's so many different things, so many different, stuff mapped to a controller, but, like double tapping one button, all the ping stuff is on a button, whereas on PC, you've got different stuff for enemy, weapon, or location, all that different stuff. But when I was trying to use these abilities, I just found it was a little bit awkward with them, like selecting between your health and your shield stuff. I mean, what do you guys think about how the button is mapped? I mean, it could be just because I've played, I've only played 5-6 games. I've got like 8 kills throughout the whole thing, so not exactly the most experienced. But I think there's definitely a learning curve to it. I mean, what do you think, Rev?
Well, I was going to point over to Dave, because I think he made a good point about the button layout on controller, particularly regarding grenades. we were talking about before. So Dave, why don't you? I think there's a learning curve, yeah, but I think there might be a reason for the way that they've mapped it, like they have.
Yeah. So currently, you have to equip a grenade before you can throw it. So you know, those coming from Battlefield, you can just spam grenades all you want.
L1, right?
Right.
For Battlefield
and
1.
if you have an ammo box at your feet, then everyone is dead. There's no one will be safe from the explosive spam. But in this game, I think, at least it's my opinion, that the devs intentionally chose to make grenades equipped before you could throw to to lengthen the time that it takes to throw a grenade in order to reduce grenade spam. So I find I don't actually throw as many grenades simply because I have to press a button before I can throw it, which is, in like a really fast-paced game like this with fast-paced combat, that short amount of time between two button presses can be a lot.
Yeah.
Do you have to do that every time before you throw a grenade?
Yep.
Yes.
But it makes you be strategic about every time you choose to throw a grenade.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like the button layout. I haven't had any complaints. Like, it does take a few games to get used to it. There is a learning curve, like with the characters, but once you start getting used to it, man, it's beautiful.
But the learning curve is kind of small for Battlefield players because we're familiar with the ping system in Battlefield. Yeah. So like, it feels familiar. It just, there are minor tweaks for Battlefield players on console, I'll say. I don't know about the learning curve on PC, which I think Juan and Dave, you guys could speak to on that.
Yeah, I will say on PC, so I've got my spot enemies bound to queue because I'm a Battlefield player.
Yeah.
But the ping system on console, you have your ping button for enemies is the same. Like Alex was saying, it's the same as pinging world objects.
Yeah.
And the difference is you just double tap for an enemy. On PC,
but you don't have to.
Binds.
You don't have to. If you're on an enemy and you hit R1, it'll ping it no matter what. Even if it's an enemy, you don't have to double tap, but you can.
Right.
Yeah, double tap just makes it go red, so it's got the red little ping.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you have the brilliant thing about the ping system is that there's an audio voiceover that tells your teammates what you've just done with the ping system. So the only difference is on PC, you have different binds for pinging enemies and pinging a world. You could theoretically set up a macro, but that's technically, I don't know if people would call it cheating or not, but it's definitely an alteration. Anyway.
Which, to me, I think the ping system is one of the best and most innovative things about this game, and I think this title has pushed the BR genre in some significant ways. Like, it's added some things that other games will eventually end up incorporating as well. They've had so much creativity in the implementation of this battle royale, and I think one of the biggest things is that ping system.
Well, that's what impressed me about the game. Like, we all got excited over the release and everything. When we got to play the game, there's no mistakes about it. This is not an early access kind of game with that nonsense. Like, this is 100% a finished game.
Right.
I mean, they've even thought down to details, about stacking the points, and like when you shoot an enemy, does it stack them? Does it overlay them? Does it do both? All that kind of stuff. Like, they have thought about every single little detail that you want. I mean, they've even thought about trying to bridge the gap between controller and PC, because you can choose to change your controller mapping to have your jump on your bumper. So many people on Fortnite, they use pro controls with buttons on the back, so you can jump and aim and all that stuff and reload whilst aiming and shooting. They've allowed you to do that now in game without having to do any extra stuff, just by selecting a default mapping for your controls. I mean, it's such, they've paid such attention to detail. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, and I think, Juan, to your point, it is a game. It's not early access. It's not beta. This is a game. So keep going with that thought, Juan.
Before I keep on going forward, if any of the devs for Apex are looking at this or listening to this, hey, can you? I want a feature. I want the slide button to have it on R3, and I just want it there.
You can do that. You can change it. You can switch it on controller.
Can you do custom mapping then?
You can't do custom mapping, but you can switch. Okay. You can switch on your controller, on your PlayStation controller or Xbox controller, there's a button layout where you can make whatever button is on the right on PlayStation and circle. I don't know what it is on Xbox. You can switch that so your melee will be circle and crouch will be R3. That's actually
hate on Xbox, by the way. Just clarifying.
Okay. I'm not hating on Xbox. I just don't know it. But you can make crouch R3 if you want to on the console.
Oh yeah, because that'll be much smoother for me.
It's great. Just go in the settings.
As we're talking about the release, this is a finished game. I mean, going forward, they're gonna add more things. I imagine they're gonna make certain changes to the map.
More legends.
Yeah, I don't think that the right move would be to go with a lot of maps. I think Titanfall is such a big world. They can evolve this map and make so many good things, and they'll be adding a whole bunch of things. There's characters to be added, much more weapons, and as they announced on that letter to the community, the battle pass in season 1 for Apex Legends starts on March 1st, which I'm very excited about.
Crazy.
Yeah, and that actually leads into something moving forward with the game. There are things about the game that we're not crazy about. There are definitely some things that we should point out that aren't like perfect yet, because they got so much right. It would probably be easy for us not to mention the things that are maybe room for improvement.
Right.
Like one thing for me is that currently you can only play in squads of 3, which really works well. Like the balance is almost perfect when you're not like, if your whole squad's died and you're going up against 3 guys instead of 4, it actually makes it more doable.
But how many people are in this podcast right now?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we can't all play together. So
we want to play together.
But then the other side of that is if you do play solo, and a lot of us don't play at the same times, or we play at different times, then we can all play together. You end up playing with randoms, and the ping system is brilliant. You can play with randoms and still have a really good chance of succeeding because there's so much more communication. You don't actually need mics at all, in fact. But you still have, I told Rev earlier, the ping system can't fix the stupid.
Right.
Like, there are just some people that are, they either don't know how to play the game or they don't care and they're just there to goof off. And some people are actually just not kind people and are going to try to sabotage your game.
Dave, quit trying to be a try-hard.
But I think that the Legends stuff as well, they have done some really good stuff, by having these different things, it lines it up for esports in the future. All these different characters, like you've got League of Legends, they all have these different characters you can choose from and stuff like that. But I think for them to, take this to where Fortnite's done with esports and things like that, they might need to look into this solo duos, 4-man squad stuff, or quads if they want to call it that. To progress it a little bit, because
I think
trios are good, but
I think solos are good for practicing. So if there's a gun you want to get good at, or if there's a like you want to learn the map, or you want to just practice, it's hard to do that when you can only play with 2 other people. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. For me, sometimes I want to play the game alone when my wife is asleep in bed and I'm staying up late playing video games, and I'm not going to be yelling or screaming at my console because my wife's asleep in the next room. I want to play alone just to have fun and to goof off, to just veg out to end my day. And so so for me, having solos would be huge.
Yeah. So 2 other things I think that need to be noted. One is, if you are a Titanfall fan and you see that this is what Titanfall 3 would have been, this might be disappointing. There are no Titans. A lot of people played Titanfall just for the Titans. It was so much fun. And good news, though, Vince, CEO at Respawn, did tweet out that there are more Titanfall things to come. So it's not completely like a loss for those who are looking for more Titanfall content. Like, then the big thing, I think, is this game has microtransactions, which, that pretty much tanked Star Wars Battlefront 2's launch. So
it is cosmetic only, though, right?
Yes.
It is. Right. Well, Is that a yes or is that a yeah? It is.
No, you can unlock characters. You can unlock characters with real money, and the other thing is all cosmetics. They're all it doesn't affect the game or anything like that. Like if you buy one of those little robots with loot boxes, you're guaranteed a rare, and it's all cosmetic. Like
it's not pay to play.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
it's
exactly.
good for
it's
me.
not, and which Fortnite has proven is a viable revenue stream in the gaming industry.
Yeah,
definitely. And those characters you can unlock just by playing the game too. So you don't have to
spend money.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. So I think the microtransactions are brilliant. I think we have to address how many people are playing the freaking game. In 3 days, they had 10 million unique players in game. Like I couldn't find stats for Call of Duty. EA just told us a few days before that they had 7.3 million users in Battlefield 5, and then Apex Legends launches with 10 million in 3 days. I can't find out how many are on COD. They've been hush-hush about that. But it's crazy how many people have jumped in this game in 3 days. And I have seen people who have vehemently opposed the Battle Royale game mode who are now playing Apex Legends.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. They refuse to play PUBG. They refuse to play Fortnite. They refuse to play Blackout. And now they're playing Battle Royale. And I'm like, what?
You good, bro?
Hashtag grumpy old farts.
So, I think we need to wrap it up there. But Apex is changing the gaming world, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is.
Big time. Big time.
I think the one thing I kind of don't like right now about Apex is the fact that some of the shields are too available. You know what I mean? Especially the purple. Like there's sometimes I drop into a match and within 2 minutes I see 4 or 5 people with purples, and it's really, really strong. I think it should be a little rarer. I don't know what you guys think about that.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
in combination with that as well, the ammo count is so low. I mean, towards the end game, right? But at the start, like you get like 6 shots in a shotgun or something like that. You can't find any more.
It's a balancing. They just got to get the balance right for the community. So
a little bump in ammo would be nice.
Right.
The TTK is high enough that the low ammo count, you're gonna run out early on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you got a 3 guys, like if you're good enough to take out 3 people, you're not limited by your skill. You don't have the ammo to do it. You need a certain amount of shots to get through the HP.
Right.
No matter how many headshots you do,
Right.
But that's just a small niggle. That's just percentages they got to adjust on.
Right.
But it's like I was saying, they release a finished game. I know some of us have had server issues, but then again, 10 million people, they're all playing the game, so you're bound to see stuff like that. But man, I'm hopeful. I like what I'm seeing, and I'm very hopeful for the future of Apex, like going from here on out, and I can't wait to see what they bring up with the Battle Pass and Season 1. I'm hooked, man. Yep.
It's a great game. We're loving it. We're playing it a lot. And so we're going to be covering Apex Legends on the podcast frequently. It's going to, it just released. We didn't know we were going to be talking about it last week, but now we are. This is going to become a frequent topic on the podcast as the game develops and progresses and as we learn it and love it more. But give us your feedback. What do you like about Apex Legends? What do you not like about Apex Legends? Leave a comment, tweet us at BattleCast. And we want to know what you guys think about it, too. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Lunds, why don't you tell them where they can find us? Where can people find us?
We are available on pretty much, I think, every audio podcasting platform available. We have, I hope I don't get this wrong now. We have iTunes.
Yes.
Spotify.
Yes.
Stitcher.
Yes.
YouTube with the video that.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello, YouTube.
Google Play or Google Android. Whatever.
Google Play. Yes.
Google Play. There you go. And is there another one? I'm sure.
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud. That's the one. There we go. So we're available on all those platforms. If you're watching on Spotify or iTunes, something like that. If you can drop a rating, let us know what you thought of it, because that always helps us. If you're following us on Twitter, we'll give all our details in a second. Drop us a DM, drop a message, give feedback on stuff. What you do like, what do you think of the news at the start? All these things, because we want to make this, it's us just having a casual conversation, as you can tell, but we want to make sure we don't put in things that you don't want to see. I mean, we've all know about Top Gear and their, star of the week or, whatever it is. And everyone hated that. So in the Grand Tour, they dropped it. We're open to adapting like that and making sure that it's the podcast that you guys want to see as well. And that's fun for us to make.
Also, guys, whether you watch on YouTube or listen to it on iTunes or wherever you choose, please rate and review us. That help us. That helps with the metrics. Word that Belcher hates.
That's what I do. It's true.
It really helps us out a lot, and we can make this podcast better for you guys and just bring you something even better.
And share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook. If you're on Vero, whatever that social media platform is, share it there. I don't care.
MySpace.
Go to MySpace. So Juan, where can we find you? Where can we get a hold of you, Juan?
Hey everyone, you can find me the _1 UAN, the Juan, on Twitter.
Get it? It's a pun.
Oh, Dave, where can we find you?
JD Belcher. That's like burper, but the more proper way of saying that, JD Belcher 1998.
I think that's a better name for Luns.
That's true.
Come on, yes. I've been good today. Join the stream, guys. RepDMQ. Hit up on Twitch sometimes. We're live, and then you can hear my marvelous.
It's a marvelous belch.
It is. It's
unbelievable. So Luns, where can we find you?
You're just as bad. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter as well. Just Luntz_ice_cool. You don't need to do the capitals up and down. I know everyone hates that. You just type it in, it pops up. Should be able to find me. What about you, Danny? Where can we find you?
You find me at RevDMQ on all the platforms that you utilize, and you can find me there.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for watching, for listening, whatever medium you are using to consume this content. We love that you've joined us, and we hope that you tune in again next time where we continue the conversation about what's happening in the video game world. We love you. We appreciate you.
Later, guys.
Peace.
Ciao.
All right.